I was suspended a few times for school. A few, quite a bit. What's up, perfectly blended family, and welcome back to another video. I'm Chantel.
And I'm Greg.
And in this video, we're going to tell you guys 10 random facts about us.
Guys, stick around to the end. I have a really interesting bonus story.
But before we get into it, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so when we drop a new video, you're alerted. All right, let's get into it.
All right, guys, so we're going to share 10 random facts, 5 each, that you may or may not know about us. I think most of these things are actually
pretty new.
Yeah, I don't think we've talked about them in any of our previous videos.
So again, you get to learn a little bit more about us.
How about you go first?
All right.
Number one.
So, random fact number 1. Guys, I have never ever had a beer. Never.
Have you sipped a beer?
No.
What?
No.
You've never sipped a beer?
Never sipped a beer.
Hey, you gotta try this.
Never.
You've never even had the,
Nope.
All right, let me sip that.
Nope.
Let me
I have smelled a beer.
Oh, the smell is a deterrent enough.
Well, it's not a deterrent. Well, yeah, it is a deterrent.
Because why wouldn't you? If it smells delicious,
no,
I'm sure you would take a sip.
Yeah, it's just no. I've smelled beers, but I've never tasted beer. Have I drank alcohol in a different form rather than beer? Yes. My tummy is super sensitive, so the minute I drink it, I just have a knot or cramp like a couple days on end. And it's not even worth it to me. So I just stay away from alcohol, period. But during that phase, when friends are like, hey, try this,
yeah,
it was always like,
is that like a 20s thing?
Yeah, like late teens,
early 20s.
Early 20s.
You gotta try this.
You gotta try, but I never was one to say, let me try that beer. Go, never. I just know by the smell that it probably just doesn't taste that good.
I sipped my first beer when I was like young.
Look at you go.
No, it was like my opa. He was having a beer, my grandfather. Of course, you want to try what everybody else is trying.
Oh yeah,
I remember
for sure.
giving a sip, but I was like little. I was probably 6.
Oh wow, that's young.
It was like, I feel like it was very young. And I remember that someone else saying, no, don't give him that. And he's like, no, watch.
And he made you try.
And it was so bad. That was my first experience with beer. All I remember was I was really, really young.
Right.
And the impression I got was, he's not supposed to have it. My grandfather thought it was a great idea. Gave me just a little sip. And I think I got mostly foam. And thought it tasted horrible. And then so I didn't have another beer until probably the same, like teens.
But you like beer.
Teens. I like certain beers. I'm kind of particular.
Alright, so yeah, that was the first random fact about me. Okay, babe. You gotta let them know. What's your first random fact?
I like to read.
Yes. Greg is a huge reader.
So, I have a little bookshelf beside my desk, but that only represents like a fraction of the books.
There's more, babe?
Well, we got boxes in the storage room.
Oh my goodness.
When we get a bigger house, I'd like to have like a little library. I'd like to put to have the bookshelves and everything. So I like to keep books for reference. Most of the books are just random information on whatever topic of interest I might be into at the time, and then I'd still go back to it.
So what type of books do you like to read?
How would you say personal growth and development? And then I would also get textbooks. I'd buy used textbooks on any topic that I want to learn more about. So I have a whole range there.
You have a lot of Stephen King books.
Oh, I used to collect Stephen King books.
Yeah.
I had sort of connections to books. I had a cousin that worked in a library. I had a mom that worked at a storage facility. They'd empty old storage units, and my mom would save the books, put the books aside for me.
Aww.
And so I have quite a Stephen King collection. I used to read Stephen King. That was when I was younger, again, teens into 20s, and then I put that away and sort of just changed direction. But I liked collecting them. So I still have those boxes of Stephen King books. And yeah, they would go on a bookshelf if I had room for them. I think I have 3 books on my nightstand right now.
What are you reading currently?
Still reading, actually I'm back reading Conversations with God, book 1.
Okay. And what are the other 2 you have there?
Law of Attraction, and I think it's A New Earth.
How long does it take you to read one book?
Oh, it depends. Man, now we're getting... because I would say a couple weeks, usually.
Wow. So you can do like 2 books a month?
If I'm consistent.
Babe,
but I'm usually not
amazing.
consistent because I usually read before bed. And if I'm getting to the point where, okay, I gotta go to bed, and then I'm already out. There's no way I am gonna read, like it'll be half a page and I'll just be rereading that half a page every time. But when it, yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Guys, like my goal in life is just to read more. And it takes me a while because I'm not like a good reader like Greg is. He always has a book going, which is amazing. But for me, like my mind would wander, or I'll have to reread a sentence to get what's going on. And it's just because I've been out of practice of reading so regularly for quite some time that it takes time, just like anything else. But my goal in life is to always just keep reading, always have a book on the go, read, because reading is power, reading is knowledge. And you know, I want to be better at reading.
You know what I find? As long as I keep reading, I keep my vocabulary going.
And that's another thing. It's so important.
I find that I can't find words sometimes. And the more I read, the less that happens. So
it helps, yeah. That was good.
All right.
Okay, guys, back to me. So random fact number 2. So when I was younger, I was a really troubled child. I always got in trouble. I was suspended a few times for school. Quite a bit. I had a lot of like interpersonal issues. I don't know why, but from the ages of like 10 to 16, I'm gonna say that period of my life was just terrible for my mom and miserable for me because I was always in trouble. It just never seemed to go away. Like trouble always seemed to follow me. Eventually I grew out of that.
You know what? I was really blown away when I first heard that. I never knew that version of you.
Right.
And so to hear, oh man, you got into so much trouble when you were in your teens, you gave your mom such a hard time.
Yeah.
And like she still has flashbacks. She has PTSD from you.
Sorry, Mom.
In that stage of your childhood.
It's just I don't know. I feel like it was a rough phase, and I don't know. Like I am not like that now, guys. Like when I look at my younger self, I'm like, ugh, like how could that have been? But I needed that to come here.
But then you have that appreciation for how like a child can develop. Like they go through a phase and those experiences help make them the person they are for the better.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I was really mouthy, guys. Like I was just really mouthy. But I'm a lot better now, I assure you. Grew out of that. I'll have to make a detailed documentary of my past, like when I was younger growing up.
Yeah, I think you have an interesting story.
Yeah, stay tuned for that, guys.
All right.
All right, babe, your second random fact.
Okay. My second random fact. I used to work in a slaughterhouse. So yeah, that's one of those random things that people, okay, slaughterhouse, then all sorts of questions come up. So if we did a video, differences, childhood, and I talked a bit about growing up, like I spent my summers on the farm with my dad's side of the family. In the winters, on my mom's side, they had a farm that was like strictly birds and a huge variety of birds. And they had a slaughterhouse on site. So they're open only on the weekends to the public, and the public could come, pick your live bird, and we would slaughter it and process it.
Wow. Like
while you waited. And so my sister and brother worked there more, and I only went up, I'd say later. They were more comfortable there, and I had been spending most of my time on the other farm. And so I remember when I was new and my job was, they call me the chicken catcher. And so this would have been probably mid-teens, 14, 15, I think. And so I'm talking, they had a huge variety of birds. So there's different types of chickens. There's like more exotic birds. There's like pheasants and silkies and all different ducks and geese, these guinea hens. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that properly. And they were loud. Those things were annoying.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways, Greg, we need this. They give me the list. I'd run out, catch the birds in the barn, crate them up, and bring them into the slaughterhouse. That's how it started.
That's a terrible job.
It's funny because you become desensitized real quick.
All right.
Okay, you're number 3.
My third random fact. After being a bad kid, after being a troubled kid for 6 years straight, my poor mom, I decided when I entered high school that at some point, I think it was in grade 9, that I wanted to change my life around. And I really didn't like going to school. So I decided to fast track through school so I could finish early. So here in Ontario, at least, high school is 4 years. It used to be 5 years, including an OAC year, but they cut it down to 4 years some time ago.
Yeah.
So now you do high school in 4 years, and I took it in 3 years, and I fast tracked. So what I did starting in the end of grade 9, I took summer school. I started with taking summer school. And then the following September, I took night school. And night school, one course is 2 days a week. So I took 2 courses. So it was 4 days a week. So I was at day school during the day, came home for a little break, and went to night school. And I did that for 3 years straight because in grade 12,
crazy.
in grade 12, you were required to take 6 courses, and then you had a spare.
Yeah.
So I took those 6 courses in other years so I could just not have to go to school in my grade 12 year, and ended up going to nursing school a year early. So I was like so young in nursing school. People were like, they even ask right now, how old are you? But back then I was like so much younger, and they're like, how old are you? But yeah, I graduated with students that were in grade 12, and I was just a grade 11 student. And me and my best friend actually did that.
That's like a crazy idea, and it's nothing I would ever thought of. Like, I didn't have that mindset when I was in high school.
Guys,
sure.
I planned out my life. I'm like, I want to do this. I want to finish school. I want to go to this school for this course. Then I wanted to go do my master's and take this, and I did just that. And I didn't realize at the time that's what I was doing. I was just writing it and making plans for myself. But even though I forgot the paper that I wrote it on and found it later, I looked at him like, oh my gosh, I did exactly that, not even knowing I had written it down already and planned that. That's what I wanted to do.
That's awesome.
Thanks. So I went from being super troubled to graduating a year early, getting out of school, and heading into university at 17. Where most people, even in grade 12, would come back for a 5th year because they don't know what they want to do.
I did that.
Yeah, so.
Like, I really don't know what I want to do.
I had teachers ask me, like, are you sure you guys want to do this? Like, are you sure you guys? And I'm like, yes, I don't want to be in school anymore. I want to leave. So it was a total change. I was a different kid. Like, there was teachers that read my report, so they knew coming in that I was a little troubled. So it's like, brace yourself. Because it goes on your record, right? And it's like, teachers can look it up. And then I was a little bit chatty and mouthy again in grade 9, but come the end of it, I smartened right up, and I was like one of the quietest kids in class because I was sitting with grade 12s. So I had nobody to chat off to. Like, these students are just in their zone. They want to go to university. So these people were focused, and they want to get somewhere else.
Don't you need a prerequisite?
Yeah, like chem, bio, math. Like, I was in classes with people.
But how did you get the prerequisite to take those?
So if I took grade 9 biology this semester. I just thought
if you took, because it was by semester.
Yeah.
Okay, so this semester you've already finished it, and then.
Next semester, yeah, I would take the next one. And I would push it down. And then I would take summer school. So I'm like, okay, I need to take grade 11 bio. I already took grade 10, but it was in second semester. I couldn't switch it. I'm like, that's okay. I'm going to take biology in summer of grade 10.
That makes sense. Okay.
And then so I did it that way. Yeah.
Wow.
So I mapped it out, and I just did it. But now today, guys, I think because me and my best friend did that, here in Ontario, you cannot do that. You could only take one night school course per semester. They changed up the rules. All right, moving on.
Third random fact about me.
Yes.
I have only had 3 serious relationships my whole life.
Okay, Guys, that blew me away when I heard it the first time. When you told me that the very first time, I was like, wait, what? Babe, it's absolutely less than I think most people.
What's a serious relationship? I mean, I know some people have been together
like since high school?
Yeah, like those high school sweethearts, and they get married right after high school and their whole lives together. I think it's more common that people have sort of multiple relationships before settling down. But yeah, I had one for pretty much through high school. I think it was like 4 years, my first real relationship. And then after high school, and then you. That was it.
I remember a few.
Really?
Yeah, a couple high school ones, and then start to
I think it doesn't even matter until like
high school. Yeah, totally agree.
Okay.
All right, moving on. All right, guys. So my fourth random fact about me. I pace.
Oh my goodness.
I pace back and forth when I'm deep in thought. I'll just pace, 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 pace. And I don't realize I'm pacing, but I'm moving.
I thought it was amazing the first time I saw it. Like, oh my God, this is for real. Are you doing that on purpose? She won't realize that she's doing it.
Just so deep in thought.
Oh man, Amaya was filming herself doing something and you were pacing in the background in that video clip.
Yes, oh my gosh.
That was amazing. Just watch you go. You just go into your thought and you have to be moving when you're doing whatever it is you're doing.
Guys, yeah, when I saw myself for the first time, it kind of made me think like, oh my God, is that okay? Like it looked weird, but then again, that's me. That's what makes me me. And Chantel's always a little bit more lively. She can't sit still.
But I can hear you when you're actually pacing upstairs because you hear those footsteps going back and forth.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Sometimes, like if I'm eating, I'm at the kitchen table, and she'll just be like going back and forth in the hall or like
in and
right
out
in
the
the
kitchen,
kitchen.
around,
Yeah, you just keep moving. It's not just back and forth, but you're just walking. You'd be on your phone. You'd be like just in your head. But
and
anyways,
it's not ADHD, guys, because when I can sit still. Like I can sit and whatever, but the minute I'm on the phone or texting, I have to move. I don't know why. Is there anybody out there that paces? You guys with me? Pacing club.
You will just sit and do those things at the same time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, but other times you just gotta be up for some reason.
I don't know. All right, babe. Your fourth random fact. Let them know.
All right. Number 4. In high school, I got the highest standings in the school for math and physics.
You're just such a smart guy. You're so smart. You weren't causing trouble. You were just getting the grades and getting the highest standing.
That was the year that I went back because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Oh.
That was my extra year there. And I'm like, I'll take this math and that physics. And it was, I gotta tell you. So I was at a different high school previously and I had taken physics there and I had failed it. It was advanced physics. That's the way our system was set up at the time. So that would have been the university stream. And then college and university in Canada is different. Anyway, I had like a 43 midterm and I'd never gotten grades that low before. Like I'm failing this course, I'm just not getting it. I'm like, this sucks. So I dropped the class and substitute with, it was like a basic math. It was, if there was general, which was the college stream, and advanced, which was the academic or the university stream, this was to get your high school diploma. So you would get, like, I'm in grade 11 at this time, or grade 12, sorry. And you're getting a mark for putting your name on the paper. Like it was that basic. Like the people taking this class are just trying to get a credit. And so for me, it was an easy 100. If you could pay attention and show up. Okay, anyways, that's where this starts. I'm failing physics and I pick up this really basic math. I go to a different high school the following year. Now I'm taking back to, would be the college level for math and physics. And now I've got both teachers telling me, you're an advanced student taking a general class. Midterm in physics, I had 102 because I got everything right plus the bonus questions. And you know what? In both cases, it was the teachers, 100%.
Oh, wow.
Like
They make a difference.
Like huge.
Yeah.
And so this physics teacher, he's like, you should be taking, you shouldn't be in this class here. I'm like, I took the advanced class and I had a 43. And he's like, brief conversation, he's like, you would have taken it with me and you would have done well.
Oh, that is so nice.
So, but hold your respect for what teachers do, because a good teacher produces a good student, or it can get through to the students. The previous teacher sat with a textbook and just spoke out of the textbook at the front of the class. And this one was fully hands-on, very interactive, and just made everything become very real.
That's
Same
awesome.
with the math teacher I had. So when the math teacher stopped me in the hall and said, Craig, you're going to be getting an award at the end of the year for highest standings in math. I'm like,
oh my, that's how it happened?
that's how I found out from him.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
and I was
awesome.
totally caught off guard.
Oh wow.
It's like, I know that you graduated at the other school, but you have to come to the award ceremony. So he's the one that told me.
Oh wow.
Because you're going to be getting awards.
That's amazing. But I know what you mean with the teacher thing, because I had to retake chemistry in summer school. My last year in high school. And it was the teacher in high school. She was a great teacher, but I didn't understand how she taught grade 12 chemistry. So when I did grade 12 chemistry at the university level in summer school, because I needed that credit to get into nursing school, the teacher that taught it, phenomenal, understood it. It was just, and I had a tutor at the time when I was in high school. So I had a tutor and I had a regular teacher teaching me chem, and I just could not get it the way they were explaining it to me. And then this other teacher teaches it, and I'm like, now I get it.
Yeah, like you totally can. When you've had that situation, you've had that experience, you can totally appreciate a good teacher.
All right, guys, we're on to our last random fact. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. All right, 5th random fact about me. I can play the piano, and I can play the piano by ear. When I was younger, that's how I kind of learned some R&B songs that I was listening to. And then I had a friend in the neighborhood that played piano as well, and she'd come over all the time and teach me piano. And when I couldn't figure out the rest of the song that she taught me, I would just listen to it and try to get the notes, and then eventually I would get it. Okay. I did take piano lessons, but I stopped taking them when I was in grade 5, so I was about 11. I didn't want to get up early anymore and go to piano class
really?
At 8 a.m. or 8:30. My mom always had to put me in things super early. She was never the mom that's like, no, you'll go at 10, or you'll go at, like, it was discipline. Like, no, you go to these classes first thing in the morning. And I didn't like that. Especially as you get older, preteen, you want to sleep in.
Okay, as a parent, I don't want to be the parent getting you to that class at that time.
My mom's an early bird, so she would go grocery shopping. So she would time it. She's like, I'm going to drop her here, go to this store, pick her back up, take her home, and continue with my errands.
All the power to her. That's old school.
It is. But anyways, I remember waiting at the door sometimes for her, and it seemed forever. I'm like, where is she?
Taking a nap.
She's at Fabric Land. She's not taking a nap. She's at Fabric Land. My mom loves fabric. She can sew. She's amazing. But
like a seamstress.
Yeah. But yeah, I can play the piano. So the beginning of Why Aren't We Married? You guys see a quick glimpse of me, but that's me playing the piano, Casey and JoJo, that a neighborhood friend back in the day taught me. So yeah.
That's good.
Thank you. All right, babe, you gotta let them know your 5th random fact about you.
Okay, my 5th random fact.
Yeah.
I collect like semi-precious stones and crystals. I've always found that stuff interesting. So this was actually one of those things back in high school. I went to that different school in grade 12, the one where I failed physics, because I want to take geology, because that was something I was really interested in. And at the high school level, they were offering geology to go that stream, like post-secondary. And that really got me into it as I learned a lot about it more. So I had, like, on my nightstand, I have quartz and amethyst and like citrine crystals all sitting there. Interesting story.
Yeah, when we first met, during the initial stages when you and I were just getting to know each other and going out, we were sitting in front of a grocery store.
Just sitting in the parking lot in the car.
Yeah, we're in the car in front of a grocery store. And we were in the car for a little bit, and just before we took off to go home, like we're just getting ready, like, okay, we better go home now, whatever, it's getting late. Greg's like, oh, I have something to give you. And he searches his pockets, and then
How new were we? Was this like weeks?
I'd say weeks. I'd say weeks, for sure.
But are we an item now?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And he pulls out of his pocket one of these. I don't know, can you guys? And it's like a little gemstone. And it's purple, my favorite color. And my birthstone.
So it's just a polished, like a tumbled, polished amethyst. So I had been, at the time, just kind of reading on crystals, and I can't even remember the reason, but I was sleeping with this thing under my pillow, and I had been for a while. And this was in that, like a sort of a point in my life where I'm going a new direction. And then when I met Chantel, and then I find out your birthday's in February, and that's your actual birthstone, amethyst. I thought it was like sort of a really crazy coincidence, because when I met you, that really set me off in a whole new direction my whole life, like where I am 9 years later now.
Aww.
So yeah, so I gave her that stone. She still has it.
Yeah. That's so sweet. He slept with this under his pillow and the night came along. How sweet is that, guys? I think that's a good random fact to end with. All right, guys, that was 10 random facts about us, 5 about me, 5 about Greg. Let us know what was most interesting to you guys. We'd be interested to know. All right, guys, but before we leave on out, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we don't want you to miss a thing. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Okay, bonus random. I used to work with aquariums. That was when I was in high school, and I got to handle sharks. So we had one huge tank, and I was responsible for all the tanks in the showroom, and this one had leopard sharks. We had just hired my brother on, and he's doing sort of, I'll call it grunt work around. But he's basically on a ladder cleaning, and I told him he might startle the fish. If they're to jump, just come get me. They've never actually done that before. And I just said it because I thought, hey, it could be a possibility. He might spook them being up on these ladders. They're seeing people up here and they're not used to that. I guess they could jump because there's sort of grates that sit on top, at the top of the aquarium, and they could bump it out and come over. Like 5 minutes after I tell him that this is a possibility, I've never seen it happen, never heard that it could happen, it happened. He comes running out onto the floor. Greg, shark jumped out of the tank. Oh my
A shark?
God. A shark. Okay.
Say what now?
I'm gonna call it small, but they're.
I don't do sharks.
You don't want to get anything near a mouth of these things. They're still sharks. They're about, I think the bigger one was just under 3 feet long. Anyway, that guy jumped. So I've never actually handled the shark. I just feed them.
You told him to come get you, like you're gonna handle it.
I just acted like I knew what I was doing because I didn't know what else to do.
What'd you do?
I climbed the ladder, make sure there's a spot on the grate that's open, grab the shark, twisted like this, and oh my God, they go one direction really easy and they don't go backwards at all. Like those, they feel so weird to handle and they're strong. So I climbed the ladder while I'm holding the shark, and I just dump him back in and put the grate back.
That is too crazy of a story. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing.
How often would a person have that experience?
Wow, okay.
Okay, what's yours? I thought you said you had a bonus.
My favorite color is purple. I already said it.
That's such a simple random fact.
It is.
But yeah, you already said it.
Yeah.